Welcome to Shadi from Abu Dhabi, the heart of Fight Island, where the Middle East meets MMA. Exclusive insights from the UFC, the MMA from this mythical location. Second guest ever. Thank you for being on the show, AJ. Jibber with Jibber podcast.
Hello. How's everything? Good.
I'm great. You're a pioneer in the Middle East in podcasting. You're somebody I look up to. You've got a lot of success. I first heard of your podcast through a close friend of mine, Freak.
Freak's my boy, man. I love Freak.
Yeah, Freak. He was telling me, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a podcast with this guy in Dubai, Jabber. I'm like, alright, no way. Where's he from? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, is he Saudi? He's like, no, bro. Like, and then he showed me a picture.
You're like, who's this
I'm like,
Spanish dude?
I'm like, yeah, what? Where's this guy from? Yeah. Jabber. I'm like, and he's like, yeah, bro. His podcast. This guy's doing it. And I'm like, this is when like I was already focused on the MMA stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is somebody you need to link up with. Talk to him. He's a cool dude. He'll help you out. And this is what, like 3 or 4 years ago.
This is Freak's first one because we've done like 3 or 4 now. He's been a regular on the show. Freak's welcome anytime, man. When we did it, the Guinness Book of Records one.
Yes,
Dinner in the Sky on the crane. Yeah.
Yes, so I don't know when that was exactly.
He decided to tell me he was afraid of heights halfway going up the thing, bro. It was hilarious, man. But no, man, I appreciate you bringing me down here, bro. Because look, I gotta say, you're not a name that has flown by me without noticing. Everyone knows that you're big in the game, bro. You've been doing it for ages, and like. It's weird when people say, oh, I look up to you to what you're doing. But, when you're with your peers, you don't see, we're all doing it, bro. We're all doing it. Whatever levels, we're all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And everybody knows Shadi, bro.
I appreciate it.
So there's no way that I could turn down coming down and having a chat with you. And every single conversation I've had with you, bro, it's like you're one of the boys. Do you know what I mean? It's not like some people, they come and talk to you and you're just like, it's awkward, bro. It's like, you know what I mean? From the first time I spoke to you, bro, the conversation flowed, bro. And, dude, anytime you need me on, and for sure you'll be coming on to
I appreciate
come on to Jibber with Jabber for sure.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Let's jump on from that. Jibber Jabber podcast. It's one of the biggest, if not the biggest. You know what I'm saying? Like Arab based. I'm saying? An Arab host that speaks English. You know what I mean? I really love the crowd that you touch. Your crowd. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we're almost looking at the same audience.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So please tell me about Jibber with Jabber podcast. When did you start? What inspired you to start? Was it Joe Rogan? You know what I'm saying? So please.
I'm not going to talk about jiu-jitsu or ice baths now because people are going to be like, oh, Joe Rogan. Nah, look, I've always listened to podcasts for ages. Even when I go to the gym, I'm listening to comedy podcasts. I'm sitting there benching and laughing and cracking up, and people are looking at me like, what's this dude doing, bro? And people usually listen to music when they're training and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I listen to comedy podcasts, and I have for ages. I used to be a celebrity trainer.
Okay.
So I train athletes and footballers and people in general population and stuff like that. And then Corona happened. Okay. So they were like, Habibi, come to Dubai? Come to Dubai. But stay in your house. No gym, no going out, no training people outside, no training people in the gym, nothing. Lockdown.
Yeah.
So I went from making loads of money a month to making zero. And no way of making money. You weren't allowed. It was done.
Yeah.
They were like, it's whatever you think you were doing before, it's done now.
Yeah.
So then I was like, what am I going to do? And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start a podcast because, I love podcasts. I think I can do it. I've got loads of friends who are celebrities and these kind of things. So I called up my friend. I was like, bro, I need you tomorrow. I went to Virgin. Actually, funnily enough, DJ Corner is where I bought my first equipment from. My mics, my mic arms, the SM7Bs and all that stuff. Shout out to DJ Corner.
Shout out DJ Corner. Blessed.
So I literally bought the equipment, not knowing anything. Like no research, no let me Google some stuff. I knew what I needed from what I saw and I bought it. I called my friend. I was like, listen, I need you for the first episode tomorrow. He said, episode of what? I was like, bro, I don't know. Just come and meet me at this place, bro. We're going to try something out. It's like, all right, cool. He came. We chatted shit for an hour and a half. Literally chatted shit. We spoke about shatafas and how people wipe their ass without it and in this country and all that stuff. Edited it myself, released it. People were quite interested. I was like, all right, let me just try another one. And bro, I just kept on doing it, been consistent ever since and haven't missed an episode.
That's what's up. I didn't know it was a Corona project, Corona baby.
Yeah, it's a Corona baby, man. It's crazy.
That's
and the thing is, most of the things that happen, you don't expect them to happen, right? You don't plan for these routes. Allah alam, the routes that your life takes you sometimes. You might, cross a road at the wrong time or You don't never know.
That's very interesting.
So yeah, man. From that, I've just been on it, and I've just been surprised that you know how it is in life. If you act like you're supposed to be there, catch me if you can.
Yeah.
Then people will think you're supposed to be there, right? So
Yes.
that's how I went from the beginning, bro.
Yes.
I didn't go on like it was my first, or I didn't know what I was doing. I went on there like I was the man who knew what he was doing, and the confidence takes you everywhere. So even when I approach people, the guests who are huge names, and sometimes people are like, "Bro, how did you get this name on, bro?" I was like, I just messaged them on Instagram. I was like, "Oh, listen, you're in Dubai. Come tomorrow to do the episode." I don't tell them what episode. I don't tell them what, and they're just like, "All right," and then I'm like, shit, he said all right. Wicked. I got to quickly call the studio and tell him that he's coming. That's how it was in the beginning. I was just throwing it out there and see what happens, bro. And even like what we do, and again, like I was saying, you're big in the game, bro. You've been blessed with the gift of the jabber. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To talk to anyone
Yeah.
in any situation, be a chameleon and just fit in and just slide in.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Not a lot of people could do that the way we do it, bro. People think it's easy, but it's not easy to hold a conversation for that long and keep it interesting and keep it funny and thingy. So I get people like calling me up, mate, how long have you been friends with Javier Mendez? I didn't even know you were so close with him and all that stuff. And I was like, I met him 3 minutes before we shot that episode. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So without being big-headed or whatever, it's like being a podcast host is not as easy as people think it is, bro. My brother used to say to me, "Oh, bro, you should do things like this. You should do things like that. How about doing this?" I said, "Okay, ta'al." One day I put him down. We filmed a dummy episode with him being the host. I lost it about 10 minutes, bro. And he was done. He was out. Like he had nothing else.
Yeah.
He didn't know what to do, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like, alhamdulillah, we keep going. And at the same time, we're all trying, bro. We don't know what we're doing. None of us know what we're doing. And none of us are getting out of this alive, bro. So just enjoy it.
Facts.
Just roll with it, man.
That's a great way to look at stuff. And from there, some of your notable guests that you had on, you mentioned, the great Javier Mendez, a.k.a. head
Shout
coach.
out, coach. It was his birthday yesterday.
Happy belated birthday, coach. For the people who don't know, Javier Mendez, head coach of a.k.a. He coached, Cain Velasquez, UFC heavyweight champion, DC Daniel Cormier, UFC heavyweight and light heavyweight undisputed champion. He coached Luke Rockhold, UFC middleweight champion, and last but not least, he coached Islam Makhachev and Habib Nurmagomedov. To undisputed lightweight
and
belts.
Bilal Muhammad as well for his last fight when he was here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bilal Muhammad. It's crazy that like he went into that camp. And that camp was so documented, you know what I mean? It was in Dubai. It was so documented by Will Harris. And we saw it, and that's his first finish in a really, really long time.
And what a performance it was.
What a
Because they were saying that
performance.
he's boring and he can't strike, and he showed you a side of him.
Wow.
I think it was awakening for Bilal. I mean, I've spoken to him multiple times about it. We did an episode just before that fight. Literally, I was watching the fight 2 days later, driving to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
He was just saying, bro, everything's different in the Khabib camp. Everything is different. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he's here soon. He's coming. I was speaking to him yesterday. He's here next week, I think, beginning of October. We need to try and get him on.
Yeah, absolutely.
for sure.
I'd love to get him on. Shout out to the bully. Remember the name. He also has a fight coming. It's a grappling match.
Yeah.
ADX1.
Tariq Sliman. That's a different one. I told
yeah.
him, hey, listen, you're fighting my boy.
Exactly,
It's like, Tariq's not a joke, bro. When it comes to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Tariq is huge. He's big. He's bigger than Bilal.
Yeah.
So that's something to look forward to.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to watch.
I'm looking forward to it. So you've had Javier Mendez on. You've had Bilal Muhammad on. Who else?
Will Harris.
Fight
World,
Wiley.
Tariq Sliman. Wiley.
Freak.
Anas. Freak.
Mr. Fuad Darwish.
Mr. Fuad Darwish. Comedians. Yeah. That's the thing that I like to do. Again, another one of my brother's advice, who has no idea about podcasting. He was like, no, personal training. Talk about personal training. And I'm just like, bro, man, how long am I going to keep talking about this? And I don't want a niche. I want a stripper, a dentist, a scientist, a comedian. Like, I want it to change every time, because conversations change. Different people bring out different stuff in you.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? And to talk about the same thing over and over again. I mean, with you is different. You're lucky because it's fights, right? And fighters. So things are going to keep happening and keep changing.
And it's weekly.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to talk about, do lifts this way and watch your carbs and
it's tough.
And there's 100 people doing the same thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like get as many different random people as you can.
Yeah, I mean, but that's interesting. Interesting way to approach it as well, because not everybody would, have the balls per se to go about it the way you did. Where I'm comfortable in this, I'm great at this. You know what I'm saying, and I have a clientele that also would boost that exact niche. You know what I mean? But you still went and did what you liked, what you loved.
You got to do what makes you happy, bro. What makes you comfortable, because there's one thing that you realize in this life: there's no such thing as work-life balance, and if there is, that's terrible. It's a terrible idea.
It is.
If you work as much as you live,
it's garbage.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So you need to live more than you work, right?
I try to preach that to people, but not many
they
people.
Don't understand it because they've been the Matrix. No, but they've been conditioned to, this is life and you have to do this and you have to. I mean, look, we come from, Arabic and African households. Doctor, engineer, dentist, blah blah blah. Like it's old-fashioned.
I had to get
the way
degree.
You can,
I had to.
Yeah, same. The way that you can live life now is so different.
It's way different.
So different, dude. You could get one sponsor for this show that will pay you for the year, and you wouldn't have to work a day of that year, bro.
God bless, inshallah.
Inshallah, it's coming. Shout out, reach out, sponsors, reach out. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So it's like you got to do it. And look, this is a weird thing that I kind of realized, but I kind of realized while doing it. So my father passed away when I was 2 years old. Allah yarhamu. I have no memory of my father. I was too young, right? When I speak to my mom, my brother, and my sister, and the conversation is very limited. It's not something that it's 40 years ago. Do you know what I mean? So it's not something that keeps being in conversation. So then I thought, wow, imagine this. Imagine I died tomorrow. My kids, my 6-year-olds, would have 140 hours of footage of me, who I was, how I joked, who I spoke to, what kind of they can get into my mind, right? They can know, I'm leaving them something, which to me is even more important than the other stuff that I'm doing. But this is like something that indirectly I'm leaving.
That's very interesting.
And that might not be, a lot of people might not understand that, but someone like me who has, I'd love to have known what was my dad like. What do I get from him? Like my kids might watch this now, and one of them will be like, yeah, that's what I do. I always scratch my balls every. Do you know what I mean? They might get something, or that's the way I laugh, or this. Oh, I actually look like him. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's kind of leaving something for them that we can either watch together when we're older, or
in case we're not here.
In case we're not here, they've got something to be like, oh, that's what my dad was like.
That's a very interesting way to look at it. I've never looked at it that way, to be honest. Like I feel like coming from Arab, African, Muslim households, there's always been a taboo about like pictures or footage generally. You know what I mean, and the way people look at it. So I've never actually looked at it that way. Although it's the same concept as the photos that we have.
It's the same concept. But think of it like this: forget about your kids. For you. Think of all the footage you have, because like I said, Shadi's been around. I clicked on your YouTube link the other day and there was 12 different links. Do you know what I mean? You have a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
If you decided in 15 years, I'm just going to pay some editor, take all my stuff and just make one long video, you would see yourself grow and change and be like, I can't believe I had that haircut. Or, do you know what I mean? How funny was it when I wore giant oversized shorts? Or, but you'd have literally history of yourself digitally done that you can watch and just smile. Or when you're old, when you're 70 and just be like, oh, I remember that was a funny conversation, or that's what I used to like. And you can see how you change. You might think something now, and in 10 years, right, you'll be opposed to it. You'll be like, I will never do that.
Absolutely.
You just see the change and the growth, bro. And to be able to document that, I think that's beautiful, man.
I agree.
Without us, and like you said, indirectly.
Yeah.
It's not why we're doing it, but it's a product of what we're doing, which is a gift.
But now that you've highlighted it, I would look at it that way in the future, and I wouldn't say be conscious, because at the end of the day, Shadi's gotta be Shadi, you know what I mean? But I will know that the review's coming, you know what I'm saying, whether you like it or not, you know what I'm saying? Somebody will look at this, and it won't be somebody who's trying to judge you. It will be somebody who is in awe of you, somebody who like loves you unconditionally and then trying to learn or gain something or grasp at something, grab a ghost, so We make sure we
I
leave
think
him a
that's
good
wicked.
legacy.
Yeah, we'll leave him a good legacy.
Yeah.
They'll know we swear a little bit, but other than that, man,
Yeah,
we're
it is
doing
what it
we're doing the
is.
best we can.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, and at the end of the day, that's what life's about, man. It's about, like, I think that's the most beautiful part of life, that we don't have the answers, and
Yes.
it's a mystery, bro.
Yeah.
So you can't expect people, like, there's people who are, like, I had a conversation with someone the other day about their kids. So I don't shout at my kids. I don't hit my kids. I grew up from Arab licks, bro. If your slipper was facing Allah, it was upside down, we'd get licks, bro. And explanation, you can't face your slippers, they're facing, like, for anything we get licks. So then I was talking to my friend and I was just like, bro, the way you're talking to your kids, you're acting like they're supposed to have it figured out. They're 4 years old, bro. You're 40 and you still haven't figured life out.
Yeah.
You're still making the same dumb mistakes now at this age. And you want a 4-year-old who literally, out of those 4 years, 2 of them wasn't even walking yet. Just walking. Do you know what I mean? And you want him to know how to do everything right? It's like, come on, man. It takes a long time. And if he's not doing everything right, where's he learning from, bro?
Yeah, and
he's looking at you.
absolutely. And I feel like shouting and like these things.
There's
like
no need for it.
They don't work. Like I feel like direction.
Yeah.
You know, like
You can be stern sometimes and make and
I feel
keep
like
them safe.
I would treat my kids the way my coaches treat me. You know what I mean? Because my coaches never hit me, and I'm scared of my coach, but I'm not scared of him because he's gonna whip my ass.
Just get out of respect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if I can get to that point with my kids,
Yeah.
I think we're perfect there.
That's the way it's got to be, bro.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Because think about how many licks we used to get. We still
Too
used to
much.
make the same
Wallah,
mistakes
too much.
over and
Wallah.
over and
Yeah.
over again. And then it got to the time where the lick stopped hurting, but you wouldn't say it. Because if you said it, they'd find a different way to hit you. So you just take the
Some
same
new
licks and you just be like,
techniques.
oh, yes, okay. You'd be laughing at the corner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I remember by accident. So imagine going from not hitting my kids 4 years, 5 years. One of my kids was doing something and I kind of just moved my hand like that. But it kind of hit him in a way. But it wasn't hard, but just something he wasn't used to. You know, like the Disney cartoons when they zoom into the animal's face and the eyes get big and like the way he looked at me, like, who are you? Like, why would you ever do that? Like the way he was upset, bro, it broke my heart, bro. And I didn't even hit him. I didn't actively go like that. It was just one of those ones, like changing direction, bro.
You have to move.
The look on his face, bro, and I was just like, alhamdulillah, bro, that I don't understand. It's like, I can't hit them. I love them so much. But then you think, our parents loved us too. Why did they hit us so much? Like, how can you hit something that is so small and just doesn't know, it just has no idea? But then it's like, that's because they come from a different world, bro. They dinosaurs, Arabs, us. Like,
I
it's
think
a
so.
different time, bro.
I think so.
Do you know what I mean? Men used to slap women in movies. That's where it talks. See, just slap them in the face.
Yeah,
you know what I
it's
mean?
like, yo.
Yeah,
You know,
it's like different.
It is.
So you can't blame them, bro. They just they did what they had, around them at the time. Our resources are different now, so
Definitely.
we need to act differently, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, and also like, maybe we're some like really badass kids because if you think about it, like the kids from today, they're on some bullshit, but not the same bullshit we're on.
Yeah, but
Like it's a bit.
I don't know,
what I mean?
man.
Like,
It depends
don't
what you're
see-
talking about. If
you
you're
don't
talking
see-
about Dubai or if you're talking about America and England.
No,
and
no,
these kind of
Abu
places.
Dhabi, Dubai. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because like me at like 6, 7 years old, I had already broken my hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Broken arm, had a scar on my already. You know,
Yeah.
but kids today, till 12, they're on their iPads.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's also maybe.
It's a different evolution, bro.
Yeah.
They live in a different life to us,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. You know, it's,
Like, we had to go and knock on the door of... How old are you now?
I'm 33.
So you were around before phones and before
Yeah,
internet and all that
yeah,
stuff. So
yeah.
we had to go and knock for our friend.
Yeah.
If you miss the timing, there's 2 options. He's either at Muhammad's house or they've left already to go to this place where you guys all go. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
There was no... and it builds character, bro. Having to
does.
walk and then go see their parents, speak to their parents. Is he here? Not allowed out? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Kids are not allowed out. You have to be like, can you come with us? And then he'd look at the parents. Parents would be like, all right, go, kind of thing. So all these things that we build character, let me message you.
And it's very interesting because I moved to the UAE in 1995. So the customs coming from Sudan are different because in Sudan, like as kids, as a kid, I can walk into any house in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna ask whose kid is this.
It's a village. The village raises the kids.
You know, like so everybody walks into everybody's house, but out here, even when I was going to my friend Fulan al Fulani his place, and I'm going to knock at his door, they were like, no, you can't knock at this time because my sisters would be home or this would be home. You can't knock at this guy's door. You know what I'm saying? Some people we can knock on their door. Some people we cannot. Some people we just have to like wait for them at the playground. So
that's because it's Africa, right? Ubuntu, bro. One village is raises. You know, there's certain tribes in Africa where there's no kids, bro. Like, if a kid needs milk, this one is breastfeeding him or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like they all look after each other. Everyone is everyone's kids because it's the village and it's everyone that's important. It's not like one or two or whatever.
True that.
You know, I'm going out. All right, I'm going out. I don't know where you're going, but like he's with you now. Like, there's no question about it. And I think that's quite beautiful, man. Where you know, the community is more important than an individual family or an individual thing.
But it also builds up your character because you're exposed to a new culture and you're just like, yo, you know, like you said, now I have to articulate at 6 years old to this lady, you know what I'm saying, who doesn't look anything like my mom or these other ladies, you know what I'm saying, that, yo, we're trying to play with your kid, you know what I'm saying, and she's giving me the same, like, what does this look, you know, and it's it was interesting.
But it made you that chameleon that we were talking about.
Absolutely.
It made you be able to adapt.
Absolutely, you can talk to anyone at any time, you know, so definitely it does build character. So you're a fight fan as much as I am, maybe more, you know what I mean, because almost every event that I've been to, this is funny. So I go to the event, and you know I have my media passes, whatever, you know, and then I'll go find wherever I'm sitting, and I would look, and then right there at the front row, you know, I'd see AJ, like,
just there watching.
Yeah, I love it.
Man, you gotta shout out Fuad Darwish.
Yes.
Fuad, always looking after me, his family, man, and I just love what he's doing there with UAE Warriors and stuff. And you have to come and support. And you know, one thing that gets me quite angry is that more people need to come and support. You know,
I don't think they realize.
I don't
think they realize the level of performances, the level of organization, the level of competition.
Dude, it's amazing what they're doing there. The Etihad Arena and stuff. And I even told Fuad, I was like, listen, let's get some buses and get them to come up here and take people from Dubai.
Definitely.
He's like, yes, let's do it. Because obviously there's that whole... So look, there's fans like us who would walk there, leave a day early to get to the UFC fight or the UAE Warriors fight because we want to see that person fighting.
Okay.
And there's people who, they like it, but not enough to make the effort, to make plans, to get a babysitter, to do that stuff and drive for an hour and a half and waste their petrol money and that kind of stuff. So for those people, we need to give them a way to get in. Like, don't get me wrong, I have no interest in watching Taylor Swift. But if somebody said to me, hey, look, we've got a limo, man, let's just go and have a good time and everything's paid for and, you know, I'd be like, all right, then let's do it. Why not? Let's roll up. Let's see what it's about. You know, so giving them that opportunity. But again, like you were saying, the way it's done, the atmosphere there, the way that our community here is so small. All the fighters, we all know each other. All the media people, like, if it's not commentators, Tariq Suleiman, you have Riyad Al-Ta'i, the MMA doc, got to shout him out. We're all friends outside of it. So it's not like we just kind of see each other. I was training with Rio an hour ago, like in the gym. Like, we all know each other and we're all connected, and I think that's just beautiful. And I think we're at the beginning stages of how big it's really going to be. Absolutely,
I totally agree with you. And
it's going to be insane.
I try to put my finger to it, like why? Because if anybody's been to a UFC show in Abu Dhabi and you've been to a UAE Warriors show, you would realize it's UAE Warriors who's hosting the UFC. You know what I mean? So it's
100%.
It's the exact same organization. You know what I mean? The same exact atmosphere, whatever. But I think there might be a lack of knowledge of the fights that are happening, and I think people don't realize that these fights are free. I'm being serious because I've spoken to a lot of people, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to the fight, whatever. They're like, yo, yeah, man, can you get me
a ticket?
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, it's free for all. Just
can you imagine?
That's what I'm saying.
Can you imagine, like, that they're doing that, they're giving you all that, they're paying all that stuff for you to go and watch it for free? Like, that's incredible, bro.
But you see, I think people are looking at it like, this is too good to be true. Shadi's probably bullshitting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's true. I took like, I put it up there. See, this is the funny thing. I indirectly, not pretended, but didn't say that they were free on one of my Instagram posts. I said, guys, I'm taking 20 people to UAE Warriors. Anyone that wants to come, I got your tickets. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Sent them tickets. You know, the
Yeah,
ticket
yeah.
on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got a ticket. Whatever, I'm coming. 20 people came down because they thought that they won it. Do you know what I mean? So I just think it's crazy. And again, I'm so like, it's a part of our community. I want them to win
Absolutely.
as much as anyone else. And
Yeah.
again, we're doing something just like Dubai, just like Abu Dhabi, the 50 years. We're creating something out of nothing. But anywhere else in the world, you create something out of nothing, it takes a long time. You see the chinks of the armor. You see the growing pains. Here, bro,
Mashallah.
it's like, we're going to create it. Okay, tomorrow it's ready. Boom. Ready.
Mashallah.
Top quality.
Yeah.
You know, top quality. So I can't wait to watch the journey and just to keep doing it. There's a lot of
Absolutely.
fighters who
Absolutely.
have gone to the UFC from UAE Warriors.
Exactly. We could dive into that for a bit. I think the first fighter to go from UAE Warriors to UFC was Ali Al
Ali
Qaisi.
Al Qaisi, yeah.
Yeah, you know, shout out to the Royal Fighter.
Shout out.
You know, great fighter. He had a crazy trilogy with Jesse Arnett.
Yeah.
You know, that was legendary.
Bro, that was an amazing fight, bro.
Yeah,
He
that
came to
was-
do an episode with a broken arm the next day, bro.
Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah,
I
he's literally
seen
wearing
it,
a cast.
And he carries that energy.
Yeah,
Ali Al
yeah.
Qaisi carries that energy everywhere.
He has that weird, mysterious,
Exactly.
old school
Fighter energy.
fighter energy. But he's kind of like, I don't know what it is about him, but it's like, what's that game with
Hitman?
the guy with the hood?
Assassin's Creed.
He has that kind of Assassin's Creedy kind of weird, like mysteriousness about him, which I love, man.
Yeah, and I think it's important, you know, to carry that energy. You know,
Yeah.
he doesn't give a shit about social media. You know, he is who he is.
Yeah.
You know, at all times. You know, and you know, I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it because you have to carry yourself that way to reach, you know, those ends. The most recent fighter out of the UAE Warriors into the UFC's, you know, Muhammad Yahya.
Yeah.
You know, congratulations.
Shout out, congratulations. Yeah.
Shout out to TK MMA. It's a big fight. It's a big fight. You know, and you know the UFC. There's no easy fights.
Yeah.
He's thrown into the deep end.
But he's ready to swim, bro. He has his 100 meters badge and he's ready to go, bro.
Absolutely. You know, I'm very excited I'm looking forward to that fight. I'm looking forward to having him on the show as well.
That'll be a great episode.
Yeah, I think it will be a great episode. I'm looking forward to it. So, if I had to ask you, who's your favorite fighter all time? Who would you say?
We're talking about,
MMA.
it's difficult, bro. It's difficult. One,
Oh, yeah, I mean,
all round, I'd probably say Mighty Mouse.
okay. I like Mighty Mouse
Demetrius Johnson, I'd probably say all round.
all around.
I mean, I love GSP. I love Khabib.
He's
I
the
love
most
Bilal
technical.
Muhammad.
I feel like
Yeah,
he's the
man.
most technical, Demetrius Johnson. And I also feel like the shorter you get, the more complete your skill set is.
Yeah. You're
Because
close to the ground, bro. You're ready to drop into that role straight away. Yeah.
Yeah, and-
Low center of gravity.
but it's also not just grappling techniques. You also have to have all the striking techniques. Like
And less distance, so you need to make sure that, you know.
at heavyweight, for example, on the other side, you can just be a great striker and reach heavyweight champion. You know, now that Jones is there, it's gonna be a bit tough. You know,
I love Jones, but Jones is always a weird one for me, bro. Because
in what way?
just I wish that he kind of made the right decisions. Like, I feel like it's amazing that he keeps coming back and showing a side of himself that's amazing, but there's always a part of me that's going, man, what if he stayed on track the whole time?
I don't think it was meant to be. I
It
think
wasn't meant to be. But
think the-
imagine Jones fighting like Izzy, meaning regularly, like Izzy is.
it'd be crazy.
Imagine he didn't have all those years off and all those issues and all that stuff. How could? Because if he can take 2 years off
Come back and whoop ass.
and do drugs and all the other stuff, which, look, life intervenes. But if he can take that long off and come back with a performance like that, basically not training, imagine if he was just on it non-stop.
I mean, but I don't.
Or is that part of the charm of John
it's,
Jones?
it's part of being Jones.
Yeah.
Like if you ever look at Jones, I always I love the techniques fighters have and whatever and all that, but I love it when I can delve into the mentality of fighters. Why you're a certain way, why you use these techniques as opposed to other techniques. Because MMA, unlike boxing, you have so many techniques you can use. You know, you can use Muay Thai techniques, boxing techniques, kickboxing. So you can use a
so
jab.
much, yeah.
You can use whatever. Jones always chose to use the nastiest techniques available to man. You know, the sharpest elbows, the inside leg kicks. He will always hit you to the elbow.
Yeah,
you know, hit you, kick you to the knee.
To the knee, yeah.
If you ever close the distance on him, he will poke you in the eye. You know, if you close the distance on him, he'll knee you to the body. So
he's got that lion mentality where I'm not here to play around. I'm here to make sure that I come out on top.
And if you see the way fighters talk about Jones after, nobody wants to get into it with him again, except for DC. And
I love DC.
I feel like when I meet DC, I might tear up.
Yeah.
Because bro, you as a regular human decided, fuck it, I'm gonna fight John Jones twice.
Yeah. And I think he would have fought him 5 times if he had the chance.
I mean, I think so too.
Did you see there's a clip of DC and Dana, and I think they're in somewhere like
so
a
UFC
change
200
room.
background.
And
when
he's telling him, and
he failed the drug test.
And he's just like, look, can I just sign something and just be like, and still fight him? Like, I'm okay, I'll sign off. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's how much he wanted. Like, it wasn't a joke. He wasn't playing for that. He really genuinely wanted to fight him. And I think that's beautiful. I think DC just as a human being, as a character, he's just one of those people like you know those uncles. There's always one uncle that's always happy. He's always the joke in the family. He's at the barbecue, like he's the one making all the jokes and making sure everyone's, DC is just like that, man. I just love him, man. I'd love to do an episode with him, man. DC, if you're watching, we need to get you in maybe the next month.
Yeah, he's gonna be out here, so definitely we should get him in.
I'm sending out all the messages to everyone to get him on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's very interesting. But like I said, for you to reach that level of nastiness in the cage, I think you have to be a certain sort of
human. You
human.
have to have the nastiness in your life as well.
Yeah, like you have to be a certain sort of human. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Jones is a nasty guy or whatever, but those demons definitely show in the cage, And he had said something very interesting. He was like, I started using that fire instead of letting it consume me. I started fanning it and directing it towards my opponent. So it's very interesting.
Kind of like Ferguson as well. Ferguson had a lot of demons as well, man.
Yeah. Ferguson, I don't know about Ferguson because it's a very like. Can I make a statement? I feel like the octagon is one of the purest places on earth. I really believe so. Like, you cannot put in half the work that the other person had and then beat them.
No, you can't play MMA. You can play football, you can play rugby, you can play other. You can't play MMA.
You cannot play MMA, but I also think like, no matter what it is, the victor has already been decided somehow. I always feel like before these people step in the cage.
A lot of fighters say that too. That they say that when I'm even standing at the conference or if I'm looking into his eyes, I know I've won already. Like a lot of people, they say that.
But I'm talking about when two fighters that actually believe
they both already won by stepping in, but
no. But I'm talking about when two fighters, not they're facing each as somebody cracked already. No, when with two fighters that actually believe I'm gonna whip this guy's ass, like Habib McGregor.
But you'd be surprised. Almost every fighter thinks that.
Almost
every fighter that I've spoken to, in their head thinks there's not a man alive that can beat me.
Yes, but I think for you to reach the UFC, you have to be that. And for you to reach that level and be that level of fighter, you have to be the toughest guy in your town. You have to be the toughest guy in your gym. You have to be like you've never been submitted in your town.
Yeah.
For you to reach that, for you to reach these guys, because if you go back and you look at the stories, almost everybody's stories is the same. They never lost in their whole country ever. You only get to that level and then you meet people from a different discipline that blow your mind. So I think it's only fair. You have to be the toughest guy around.
Bro, it's dangerous. Like, so when I was talking to Hoist, I had Hoist on the show, lovely guy as well. We were talking about UFC 1. And that was like a kumite. It was like something out of blood sport.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
bro,
You
yeah.
had the kickboxer,
Yeah.
the jiu-jitsu guy, the sumo wrestler, the Dutch guy,
The one,
the just boxer.
the one arm boxer.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like everyone had their style, and it was like it was Street Fighter, bro. Which
Yeah.
style is the best?
Yeah.
Now, that was already dangerous. But fast forward 10, 15 years, when people are learning every style. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to find someone who's just a jiu-jitsu guy who's going to go into the UFC without learning some striking, without learning some kickboxing, without
Definitely.
learning other stuff. So it's so much more dangerous now. I mean, obviously then, because there was no real refs or whatever, it was just like, you know, whoever gets choked out or can't continue. But the danger of now, how people are, and the way, I mean, just like rock and roll, just like everything, the world has phases, right? We are in a fighting phase now where be careful in the street, bro, because everyone's training something.
Yes.
Everyone's training something.
Yes.
And sometimes, bro, I've been in situations where, you know, my friends have been arguing with people, and I've been, and you know, my spidey sense kicks in, and I'll just look at the ears, bro. I'll be like, not this guy, bro.
Yes.
Like, I'll tell my friend, because they don't know. They're just those little street fighters that think that they can fight. They might have won a couple of fights with a lucky swing. And I'll just look, and it's like a film. The magnifying glass will go on the cauliflower ear, bro.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, bro, not this guy, bro. Your
Yeah.
ears don't get like that by wearing headphones, bro.
Absolutely,
Like,
yeah.
that guy has put in years of training. Just move on, say sorry, get on with your day. It's not worth it. Do you know what I mean? So it's dangerous these days. Like, anyone, like back in the day when we were growing up, if you knew how to throw a couple of strikes,
You're good.
you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
You know, the reality of someone else knowing stuff
It's very
was
low.
1 out of 15,
Yeah, it
1
was
out
very
of
low.
20 people.
Yeah, very,
Now,
very.
bro, everyone's doing something. Everyone's doing jiu-jitsu. Everyone's doing kickboxing. Everyone's doing MMA. Everyone, like, so it's not the same as it used to be.
Absolutely not. And you know, and it's interesting you say that, because I would go out after UFC fights or Warriors fights, you know, Yas Bay, whatever. I don't see these interactions. You know what I'm saying, with party goers, regular party goers, and then people who are just visiting, MMA fans who are just visiting. You know, and they would have these little moments. You know, but I'm glad I've never seen
Proper scuffle here.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it goes bad, like, you know. But
Goes
also,
back quick.
yeah, and I also realize, like, real tough guys don't really get into it.
Bro,
You
look
know?
at all the fighters we know.
Yeah.
The loveliest guys, bro. Because that's the discipline that comes through martial arts, bro. It's a different thing, bro. I mean, any sport will kind of teach you how to, you know,
Be chilled out.
be chilled out and maintain yourself. But there's nothing, you know, when somebody knows they can whoop your ass.
Exactly.
It's like a kid, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when a kid's mouthing off and you're just like, oh man, I would break you in 2 seconds, bro. It's all right, whatever. You win, okay, go, kind of thing. They have that same mentality. It's like
Exactly.
they're not even going to entertain it because they know, and they can tell, and they can smell it on you, bro.
Absolutely.
They can smell it on you, like that this guy has never done anything in his life. So
Yeah.
they're just chilled. But the nicest guys that I know are fighters, bro.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to take that word back. Not fighters, killers, bro.
Yeah,
Like killers. These guys are assassins, and they're the nicest guys, bro.
I agree.
The nicest guys.
I agree. And it's very interesting, that discipline that it instills in you. But it's a very aggy situation when you see a tough guy getting picked on by somebody who's not tough, who is just bigger
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. And I see these situations, and I'm just like, and I can't break it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now you're in a situation where the guy who's not the tough guy thinks he's the tough guy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and the other guy is trying to break it off, because
Sometimes people need to learn their lesson, bro. And sometimes it only takes one. It only takes one altercation with someone. And you know what's actually funny? Do you know how many friends growing up that I know that took up martial arts because they tried it with someone who knew jiu-jitsu or someone who knew, and they got whooped so bad and so quick that they were just like, okay, I'm sorry, I need to learn this now.
yeah,
Can you help me be like you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of people came to it, maybe not here, but outside, came to that stuff from finding out the hard way. And then they
Yeah.
were like, and then changed as characters as they started to gain the respect. They go in there. I mean, it's nothing like going into your gym and just seeing the family and the community
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
of different people, bro.
it's amazing.
It's
You
different.
you roll, you do
Not as
jiu-jitsu?
much as I'd like to, bro. I was a bit of a gym whore, where I used to just go to different places, so I'd never settle in one place. I'm going back now with Tariq at Falcons. and
Amazing.
I bought, and I'm gonna get on it hard.
If you're ever in Abu Dhabi, come out, Commando Group. We'd love to have you,
bro. Anytime, bro. Anytime.
Yeah, we'd love to have you
I'd
on.
love to
For sure,
roll,
for
bro.
sure.
Why are you texting chicks while we're talking on it?
I'm not. That's my script. Okay, so you were telling me your favorite fighter is Demetrius Johnson.
One of them. Don't do that to me.
Sorry,
Don't put me in. Don't put me in a. I can't do it. It's hard.
We're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting there. So one of your favorite fighters is Demetrius Johnson, from that weight class, right? But if you had to choose somebody from like lightweight, middleweight, because I feel like lightweight, welterweight, middleweight are the most popular, because these three are like where.
But there's more work going on there, man. I know people. Look, there can always be good heavyweight fights, and there's always going to be the good heavyweight fights, and they're fun to watch. And you know, Bam Bam and Tai Tuivasa and all that stuff. You know it's going to be a good fight. But I just feel like work rate. Like you get to those lightweights, bro. There's triple the amount of strikes that are happening during a round.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So the work rate is a hell of a lot more. So usually you get a better looking fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
There,
It's
Let's talk Izzy.
yeah. What the?
Let's talk Izzy Strickland, bro.
What happened there? What do you think?
Strickland happened, man.
I
don't know.
think Izzy. I think like Chael
Other
Sonnen,
than food poisoning, what else could you? I mean,
I think he ended up in a fight that was harder than what he thought.
yeah, but it wasn't. I mean, it didn't. To me, it didn't look like that.
And I think Strickland. There's something about Strickland.
Dude, he was.
No,
That was a clinic.
It was a clinic, but there's something about his personality. I think Strickland throughout the whole time carries the goofball energy throughout. And even during the face-offs, during the weigh-in, he never looked at Izzy. Izzy always had that energy, that let's fight right now energy. But Strickland was always goofy and laughy about it. When they got in the cage, you know what I mean?
He switched.
He switched.
Yeah.
And I think,
Don't get me wrong. Izzy's one of my favorite fighters, bro.
Yeah,
of
me
all
too,
time.
for sure,
Izzy
me
and
too.
Volk and
like Izzy after the Pereira moment, after getting back, that of course he's legit.
But the thing is, for me, that Pereira moment wasn't the same as Strickland, because the Pereira moment, he almost finished it in the first round anyway. Or was it into the second round? The first fight.
The first fight, yeah, he finished in the first round.
He almost.
Yeah.
Izzy almost
Yeah,
knocked him out.
He hit him.
So, and it was a good fight.
It was a great
Back
fight.
and forth.
Yeah.
So even though he lost it, this one, there was something wrong.
That's
It was
what I'm
like
saying.
Izzy wasn't there
That's what I'm saying.
at all.
But I think it was a knockdown. I think like because Izzy was still styling, you know what I'm saying? He was still doing his thing at the beginning of the fight. But I think the knockdown and how hard he hit him, whatever, because even he said he was like I was laughing at myself like this guy just knocked me down. So that would tell you that he was in a fight that was harder than he actually thought it was gonna
But
be.
even Strickland on a podcast was saying, look, this is not going to be an easy fight for me. I'm going to come out of this with maybe a broken arm, maybe a broken cheekbone, maybe and all that stuff. So
but I think it's different. I think
600 to 1 odds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think if there's a black belt fighting a blue belt, you know what I mean? The blue belt is gonna have these ideas. Shit, I'm gonna have my arm broken, whatever. I'm gonna be fully super prepared for this shit tomorrow. The black belt's gonna be, I'm gonna whoop this nigga ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened. You know what I mean? Like they ended up in the cage, and this guy was just so prepared and so mentally there and so everything. And Izzy was just like, yeah, it's gonna be a cakewalk.
It's a crazy sport,
And it wasn't.
bro.
Yeah.
It's a crazy sport.
And now it's getting me nervous about Jones and Miocic. You know?
You think Miocic will
I don't think so.
upset?
No. I don't think. Like,
Who do you think can beat Jones?
No one.
No one.
No one.
Ever?
Jones, because you have to have the power. I don't think anybody can technically beat Jones.
Jones is one of those Deontay Wilder kind of things, because he started very late as well, right?
But he always had the wrestling,
athleticism, yeah.
the wrestling background.
But
But
picking up the striking the way he did.
yeah, and you know Jones. He was champ at 23. He was champ at 23. You know.
That's crazy, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like imagine champ. At
This
23.
is what I'm saying, though. It goes back to my previous point. Champ at 23, imagine. If he had someone around him that could keep his...
Yeah, but
then again, he did what he needed to do. It's not a big...
and like, who are you going to tell? Dude is champ
Yeah.
at 23. Who's he going to listen to? Winklejohn?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's tough. It's tough when you're the world champ, you know, and the way he did it against a legend, against Shogun. He destroyed Shogun. Bro, Shogun tapped.
Yeah.
From strikes. Like, I will never ever get over that moment. Like, for you to win your first title from a legend, Brazilian legend, you know what I'm saying? You're making the guy tap strikes. Like, that is so.
It's one hell of a world, bro.
I don't think anybody can technically beat Jones. Like, no one is gonna take Jones down. Nobody's gonna outstrike Jones. I think you can only knock Jones out. Like, sleep.
You don't think DC could have done it?
I think
Maybe given another 1 or 2 fights to figure him out a little bit.
I don't think so. I think the closest person was Thiago Santos and Dominic Reyes.
True.
You know, Dominic Reyes was very close. He knocked Jones down. It was, you know, it wasn't a real. It was a slip, but it was counted a knockdown because he hit him.
Yeah.
But Jones was off balance. It wasn't a real knockdown. But Reyes and Thiago Santos
Came closest, huh?
the closest for my liking. But it wasn't this Jones. It wasn't this Jones that's now smiling and laughing. You know what I mean? At heavyweight, he's a beautiful person.
Yeah.
I feel like the last couple of fights at light heavyweight were very awkward. You know, even if you go back to the interviews, the energy he has is very awkward on camera. He's not comfortable. You know what I'm saying? He wants to leave. It's like he's going into a fight that's very dangerous, but us the fans, no one thinks he's gonna lose, so no one's interested.
Yeah.
You know, but still, those were the 2 hardest fights he had.
Yeah.
You know, so I think maybe Ngannou might have had the best chance just because of how much power he has.
Yeah.
But you know, Jones, man.
But we'll never know, man. Ngannou's fighting Fury now.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like I'm very happy for my African brother.
Me too, bro.
To be honest.
I don't understand people who are like, oh, dude, the guy's making enough money to retire. He's paid his dues,
And
entertaining you.
And he's gonna set up.
You know,
like, bro. When African fighters get that sort of pay, just because of the way economics work, you will be able to invest back something huge in Africa.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
From that just one fight. So I'm only looking forward to what he's gonna do with it. And you know, Francis is a very interesting story, and I'm very interested on why he didn't sign the second part of the deal. Because
With UFC?
No, not with the UFC, with Fury. Because Fury is already saying, I'm coming back, I'm gonna come and fight you in the cage. You know, but they have not.
I think they
signed
want
it
to finish the fight first, see what happens,
I agree.
and then because imagine Ngannou wins, bro. Because look,
You know what's
again,
the issue?
fighting, there's a puncher's chance, bro, for everyone. It's very unlikely, just because of the skill set that Fury has in staying away from what he has to do and tying him up. But there's a fighter's chance, bro.
Okay, can I tell you? Can I tell you from my side? My favorite fighter ever is Anderson Silva, because I feel like he's the guy that had the most magic.
Yeah.
The feeling I used to get when he's walking out in no sunshine, like, nothing. It's nothing like it. But the most magical rise to the top, the most incredible. Like, I don't think it will ever be replicated. Maybe Sugar Sean, maybe, but I don't think so. Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor was a movie, bro.
There was
It was a Rocky story, bro.
Yeah,
it was
like,
not.
it was not normal.
Yeah.
Right now, the moment. Let's go back before that moment. Jose Aldo in my head was a monster.
Till today, I will never take that away from him.
You know what I mean? But I can't explain into words what I thought of this man. Before he fought Conor, right? He fought Mendes, he fought this guy, that guy, and he would just beat people up for 3 rounds.
12 to 15 years before Conor, he was doing it.
Yeah, and he would beat people up for like 3 rounds, and then the last 2 just take off. Just walk around the cage, leg kicks, whooped everybody's ass. Conor comes in, I'm gonna knock this guy out. I thought, no way, bro. Jose, like, we've never even seen him rocked. We've never even seen him knocked down. You're talking about knocking him out. Like, what are you saying? Goes on. Aldo fights Mendes the second time. The first time he knocked him out. The second time it was a crazy fight. And Conor was in the stands, and he's supposed to fight next. So Aldo wins. Conor jumps in. They're supposed to fight. Aldo gets injured. Conor fights Mendes. I didn't think Conor could meet Mendes. Because Mendes is a monster. He's a wrestler, whatever. He beats him, finishes him. Joe Rogan said a quote. He was like, let's see if Conor McGregor's in that bracket of Jose Aldo, Mendes, these guys. If he can beat this guy, then, he should fight Aldo. He beats Mendes, goes to fight Aldo, and I remember I'm in Fujairah, I was working in Fujairah TV that time, and this is like 6 a.m. I'm sitting, I'm half asleep. You know what I mean? I missed already all the
All
fights.
the fights, yeah. Apart from that one, yeah.
Yeah, I'm only here for the main card, for the main event. And yeah, bro, like I got a drink, I got some food, and I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be a war.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember I had a housemate who was asleep because we were working in the TV channel. He was asleep, like work is in a couple of hours. The fight starts, and just a couple of seconds later, I'm just going, oh my days, what the fuck, out loud.
Yeah.
The guy wakes up, he's like, bro, inshallah khair, what's happening? Are you okay? And I tell him in English, I'm like, bro, he just knocked him out in 13 seconds. And he's looked at me and he's like, yeah. Just turns around and he goes back to sleep. There was no moment like that ever in MMA. Like, I don't think there will be.
How did you feel about that moment? Because look, I mean, don't get me wrong, Conor did a huge amount for the sport. Amazing fighter. Great guy as well. I know he's done a lot of shitty things and whatever, but funny guy. When I mean, like, Conor's somebody that can be in the crew. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I was in, like, my heart split in two when I saw that fight.
Yeah.
Part of me was so excited because the way Conor did it. You saw him practicing the same punch in the changing room before.
Yes.
He said he was going to do it that way. It was part of that Mystic Mac predicting everything and getting it right.
First round KO.
And the way, but part of me just being a fan and knowing Aldo for so long and knowing what he'd been through, I kind of felt like he was cheated the opportunity to show what he could really do against Conor. Like, I felt for him because you could see the disappointment in his face. Like, he was almost crying, bro. He was like...
He was crying.
Yeah, he was crying. This is not at all what he thought was going to happen. And the fact that they didn't do that rematch, to me, I felt like it should have been done.
It taught me something, though. That taught me something. Because the Jose Aldo fight, like, I felt like that fight would have went that way if it had a different build up. It would have still ended in the same result. The fight would have gone longer, though. It wouldn't have been 13 seconds. But those fights usually end in the first exchange. When you have two high-level strikers, you know what I mean? Those fights don't usually. Yeah,
but then you only got to look at the Nate Diaz fight when Nate Diaz beat him, right?
Okay.
On paper, you would say Jose Aldo is better than Nate Diaz, right?
Okay.
You would say he's 10 times more skilled than Nate Diaz. His IQ, because Nate's just a brawler.
Yeah.
He's a fun guy. He's out there. He's enjoying himself. He's going out and he's doing a means to an end. Whatever I need to do, like, I feel like when Nate, there's no game plan with Nate when he goes out. It's like, I'm going to try to slap you a couple of times. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a bit of this. But it's
like, a fight.
It's a fight. But I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like Jose could have given Conor a hell of a lot more trouble had he been given a chance. And I would have liked to have seen 5 rounds of them together. But even if Conor won at the end, like, the outcome wasn't the thing for me that upset me.
The competition.
It was just that I just would have liked to see what Aldo could have done past that.
But
what would he have shown in Conor?
I'm with you. But with the build-up, that long...
No, mentally he was gone. He was
That's
gone.
What I'm saying.
He got him so angry, picking up his belt, going to Brazil and all that stuff, and the stuff he was saying, that he won that way before the fight even started. Way before.
So we would have had to reschedule the fight, but they wouldn't have to have the build-up. It wouldn't have to, if it was a main event.
No, I think Aldo would have been calm after the loss. It would have been an Izzy Pereira moment, I think. I think once you've lost, once you realize, hold on, being that way and being angry like that, that's what happened to me. I got too carried away. I ran in straight away. I think the second time he would have just been like,
and I think,
okay, all right.
And I think that's why Conor said no.
Yeah.
That's why Conor said no.
Imagine having that much push and that much power to say no.
Yeah, but
in the UFC, because UFC, you fight who you're told to fight.
Not Conor.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine having that much, because Conor changed a lot. Doesn't they call him Dana's best friend and all that stuff?
But I think Conor changed a lot just being Conor.
Yeah, that's why I don't blame. I don't blame Dana for letting him do whatever he wants, because he took the sport up 5 years. Like, he took 5 years away from the progression of the sport in a way that he took it ahead 5 years, and he just made all that time go away.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fighter pay, everything. He made double champ status possible. He made, you know what I'm saying? And, bro, like, people love talking shit about Conor. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's made some bad decisions, but bro, Conor opened up.
No, yeah, of course.
For me, he opened up European MMA. Before Conor McGregor, how many European champs did we have? Before Conor,
For sure.
you know what I'm saying.
For sure.
After Conor, there's a couple.
Conor look, Conor is a Messi and a Ronaldo to the sport.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
You know?
There's always one or two that completely Tyson. Do you know what I mean? When Mike Tyson came, bro, it was a whole different story, bro.
I wasn't around.
No,
like,
but
I wasn't
he
conscious.
changed everything.
I wasn't conscious enough.
Like in boxing, he changed in heavyweight boxing, he changed everything. Do you know what I mean? So there's always those that come
Yeah.
that change everything.
And that's what I mean. And you know, they asked Conor, they were like, why would you, like, you know, you should do the rematch. You know what I'm saying? That was a whatever. And he was like, bro, I knocked him out in 13 seconds. Like, for him...
It's easy to say, though. Is like, that's
No,
it.
but what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
for like, let's say it's between me and you.
Yeah.
For you, you're getting an opportunity to
To win it back, but for
win it back.
Yeah. For me, I'm just like, it's safe. I'm staying safe.
Yeah, but for me, what am I going to do better? Knock him out in less than 13 seconds?
Yeah. Or lose.
It can't be any better for me.
Yeah, yeah.
My other option is
Yeah.
knock him out in 12 seconds or lose.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a lose-lose situation for you. Yeah, you just take it, move on, and go on. Yeah.
Yeah, khalas. You don't
Yeah, I
need
get
you don't
it.
need that fight. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Especially when you're the one that has the reins. You know what I'm saying? I know Aldo hates it, you know, but
I feel like till this day that must be weighing on his heart, bro. Aldo.
yeah, and Conor, like I wish Conor let it go.
Yeah,
Conor's a
that's
dickhead,
what I'm
bro.
saying.
Yeah.
But that's why people love him, bro. Because he's
Yeah.
a dickhead. And
But I like, it was recent. So there was I don't know, there was footage from Conor's house, and one of his kids has a toy car, and it's like a Mercedes or whatever, but it's a toy car. And the number plate on it is Aldo 13S, and I'm like, bro.
see what I'm saying? It's just,
Like-
he knows how to do it, bro. He knows how to do it. But I think Conor's had his time. If there's anyone that can still come back and make a bit of noise, it's Conor. But I feel like that period that was the gift to him is settled now.
You think he will ever be champ again?
Nah.
BMF?
I don't think he will. But the point that I'm making is I don't think he needs to be. Like, I don't think it will be as relevant. Even if he does come back and win, I think Conor's lost that, you know, that fire in the fans that he used to have. You know, because of the previous losses and because of the way he carried himself during those and after those. Like,
I definitely see the change in people's perspective and opinion on Conor.
which is acceptable even for him, bro. For him to just call it a quit.
But he's not. Like, if you ask him, he's not.
He's not, but
He's
life
not.
takes over, your body takes over, age comes in, and then you end up losing the opportunities, bro. There's too many other people who are waiting in the game that there's only so far Dana can take the piss with stuff. Do you know what I mean? Before people will start a revolution. Like, you can't just have Conor just keep coming back whenever he wants and not having 3-4 fights, wins.
I actually want to chat to you about that. So, Conor's inactivity. Do you think Conor's inactivity is caused by Conor, or do you think Conor's inactivity is caused by the purse that Conor commands? That the guy gets paid so much per fight that
If Conor wants to fight, he'll fight. Money is not a thing for him anymore.
not for him.
Yeah,
It's
but
for the people paying him.
No, but what I'm saying is, if he really wanted to fight, he'd take whatever they'd give him, because it's a drop in the bucket for him, dude. Whatever it is, you give him 10 million for the fight. That's nothing, bro. You know how much he made out of the whiskey by selling the whiskey company?
Yeah, I'm with you on that, but I think he also looks at it like, this is my main.
You can't do that anymore. You just haven't been active enough and winning enough to still do that now. Like, there comes a limit where you got to say, come on, dude. You need to have 2 more fights before you can start saying that again. And win them in spectacular form and be like, we're back. In my opinion.
But I think Conor, one fight, one spectacular finish.
But against who?
Chandler.
But that's what I'm saying. Is Chandler a big enough name, like Aldo was, for it to be seen as that kind of victory?
For Conor, yes. Only for Conor. It's a special case. Because if Conor fights Chandler and finishes him, it's gonna be by KO, and it's gonna be spectacular. You know? So
Okay, flip it round. What if Conor fights Chandler and loses again? Would you be like,
he's
look, I
done.
don't want to see you again.
No,
It's done now.
Because like, even as the tightest of Conor fans. Like when I say I'm a tight Conor fan, when he fought Habib, I had Conor. Like, bro, I love Conor. I also like Habib is different.
I love Conor as well, but I had Habib for that one.
Like for me, Habib is like he's the Muslim athlete of my generation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got to meet this guy. I got to shake his hand, his dad's hand. Allah yarhamu, you know what I'm saying? So he's a great figure to me. But I will always be honest. When that fight at UFC 229, I had Conor all day.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Conor's my guy.
I felt like Conor was. I felt like Conor knew, bro. There was something in Khabib that was just like
only the press. That press conference, like that press conference got me scared.
Yeah.
The press conference when he came in with the 2 belts, pink suit, gave him the whiskey, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I looked at my friend. I remember. I think it was Freak or something. I don't remember who it was, but I'm like, yeah, he might lose. You know what I mean? And that I remember that first piece of doubt creeped into me after that press conference. And then after the loss and after, you know, everything digested, I realized, I'm like, yeah, these guys were maybe on different levels.
Yeah, of course, bro. Khabib is these are
he was
different people.
Because he was striking with him in the cage. You know what I'm saying? Like, people go back to
Khabib
that.
Khabib was there to prove a point, bro. It wasn't about winning. It was about teaching someone a lesson, bro.
Yeah.
It was different. It was coming from a different place.
I agree with you. I agree with you. So, like I said, like the highest of Conor fans, you know, I don't think they would be okay with, like, if he loses to Chandler, like Adi, like maybe, but if he gets finished by Chandler, bro,
It's done. Like
I
to
think
me, it's done now.
Even if he loses to like, now that I'm thinking about it, no disrespect to Iron Mike Chandler, you know what I'm saying? He's a great fighter, but just styles makes fights.
Yeah, but like I was saying, to me, I was a big Conor fan, and I am a big Conor fan. But to me, it's like I have no interest in seeing Conor fight again.
You don't think he can ever rediscover that magic, the karate stance? For the Ultimate Fighter, they had the segment, the coaches challenge. The coaches challenge this season between Michael Chandler and Conor was they had to get in the bathtub and answer questions while it's freezing or something like that. And when Conor took his clothes off before getting in the tub, he just for like 2 seconds, they had him doing the same karate stance. The one when he fought Aldo, when he fought. And I'm just like, bro, what if that guy comes back?
I don't think he will.
You know?
Like, just again, for me, like I feel like just like we were talking, I feel like life has clips, right? And every clip has its time. I feel like Conor's time is just come and gone. It's done now. It's like you watch a movie, right? You're only gonna watch Rocky so many times, bro. Before you're like, I want to see Creed. Do you know what I mean? Like, Rocky's done, and it was a big part of me, of my UFC watching thing. But it's done now. It's enough. It's we don't need to rewatch the movie again. It's done. Like, and I feel like the longer it keeps on going like this,
that's so crazy that you say that.
The lower the respect for him will be.
That's so crazy that you say that, because you just gave me the idea in my head, or the vision that for Sugar Sean to run, Conor had to walk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And this only means that if this guy's time is done, then this guy's time is also coming to an end, and then there's somebody else who's crazy on the come.
There's always gonna be, bro. There's always gonna be the next generation, dude. Dude, my twins, my 6-year-olds are already in jiu-jitsu and stuff. So it's like there's always gonna be those that are coming after. And I think the beauty of it. Look, Mike Tyson. If I tell you what kind of superstar Mike Tyson was, like, Mike Tyson was undeniably the meanest monster that ever stepped into a boxing ring. He was knocking out grown men when he was 15, bro. He was, like, even to the end of his career. You would never bet against him. It wasn't even a consideration. It was just excitement, the popcorn, to see what he was going to do. It wasn't a case of, will the guy even get close? You got that Mike Tyson. Then you got the Mike Tyson after jail and towards the end of his career getting knocked out. You don't want to see them get knocked out.
No.
Prince Nassim Hamid, bro, what he was doing to people was insane. At the end, you don't want to see that. Just keep this story pure for me. Finish. Conor, just stay where you are now. Like,
I see exactly what you're saying.
Imagine legacy without the last 2 fights.
Imagine.
Like, imagine he ended at Nate Diaz too. That would have been the nice legacy. Adding these other ones, I don't feel like he gained anything from them.
Yeah, it only showed us the other side, like that he can be vulnerable, he can lose, he can go to sleep.
Which is fine. We've seen the other side now. I
Yeah,
don't
but
want
we
to see any
need
more
to.
of it.
We don't need to though. Like I'm saying,
Yeah, yeah.
as fight fans, I'm cool with never seeing as in get knocked out or you know
Yeah.
choked out. I don't want to see that. You know what I mean?
That's
And-
what I'm saying. I don't want to see him lose again
Yeah.
because the last losses weren't good, and to see it again, even though it doesn't take away anything that he's done, he's still Hall of Fame. But it's like sometimes we need to know when to just.
But
Call it a day.
I don't think he's there yet. Wallah, I think it's one more. One more.
His last fights were when?
Sorry.
His last fight was when?
His last fight was 2021.
Okay, so that's 3 years now. Before that,
19.
before that,
2019.
basically, like I think people forget that it's been about 10 years that he's had 2 or 3 fights.
The last time he was consistent was 2016. 15,
Vol-
16, 17.
Volkanovski, Israel Adesanya, 5-6
These are different
fights
levels.
a year. But this is what I'm saying. You say they're different levels, but Conor was right up there in that level, bro.
Okay, but this is what I tie back to the point that I was trying to make in the beginning. When I was saying, because I remember Conor in post-fight interviews begging, please, I would like to fight. Please, I would like to stay active. Please, I would like to fight. I think he goes in the back and they're like, okay, would you like to fight this person? I'm like, yeah, 20 mil. And they're like, no, bro, you can't fight for 20 mil 3 times a year. You know what I mean? I think that's what happened to Conor. Because even, like, if you remember the Cowboy fight,
Yeah.
he was asking for activity. The one before he was asking for activity. The one in Abu Dhabi when he lost to Poirier, he was asking for activity, you know? So I have to believe him at some point.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I also have to put in mind, like, from a business standpoint, if I was Dana White, will I want my golden child to be fighting 3 times a year, paying him this amount of money, and
Yeah, but don't forget how much they're making from these fights, bro.
but I ask myself, if I had Conor fighting 3 times a year, is he gonna get the 3 million pay-per-views that he gets when he fights once every 2 years?
Yeah.
Or is it gonna be
if
different?
it's the big enough names, yeah, of course they will.
Okay,
They could pay Conor off ticket sales, bro.
I'm with you, but
Forget pay-per-view, forget all of the other stuff.
yeah, but on the other side, is there somebody who's big enough for me to make the Conor fight? I have Nate Diaz, you know what I mean, that I can make this fight with. I have Habib that I can make this fight with. I have Poirier that I can make this fight with, you know. But what are these guys doing? Are they tied up to any other fights? Are they contenders?
Yeah,
Are
look,
they...
we'd be silly to think that we can get into the mind of Dana and how it actually runs behind the scenes. But at the same time, just for me, I'll say it again. For me, the movie's over.
I mean, you're
I've
like,
seen it. I love the movie. Sometimes you don't have to make a sequel, bro. Sometimes the sequels suck, bro.
all right. I want to stop you there, and we can go back. So, what if Izzy thought that during the Pereira fight, the fight in New York? What if he thought that?
How many wins?
And it's not.
How many wins did Izzy have before that?
It's not the same because
How many wins did Izzy have before that?
he lost to Blachowicz. Other than that, that's it.
Okay. Now, how consistently in those wins, how much time was there gone without him fighting?
Not much. Not
You
at all.
can't compare.
Even when he lost, it
You
was
can't
3
compare
months.
the same. You can't compare the two. They're different, bro. Conor will lose, go away for 2 years, and then come back and lose, and then go away for 2 years and come back and lose, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, I know you're a Conor fan, and I believe
no,
believe
bro,
me, I
like,
love Conor too. But
I'm
what
a
I'm
Conor
saying
fan,
is,
but I
you
will-
can't compare the two. Izzy was having 5 fights a year, bro.
Definitely.
So one loss,
It's
and then for him to come back and win, it's. See what I'm saying? Even after the loss, he came back and won.
but that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you delved into the facts. I'm not talking about the facts. I'm talking about the magic. I'm talking about if we thought, Khalas, Pereira has this guy's number. He's already whipped his ass in kickboxing twice. He slapped him once in kickboxing. Now he's here in the UFC. Again, he finished him. So Khalas. You know what I'm saying? Let's forget it. He has his number. Let's not make that fight again. Is he move up to light heavyweight or go down to 170?
But Izzy didn't want to.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Izzy didn't want to.
How many chances are we going to give someone, bro?
I mean,
How many chances without there being a change?
The last one is tough for me, bro. The last one, the broken leg.
But that was part of the fight. It didn't break just because it was weak. It broke because he was hitting him wrong, and he was checking.
Did you watch the documentary?
Yeah,
like he
I
was.
saw,
He was already. It was already bruised up, banged up, whatever.
Then, I don't know. I just feel, again, we're always gonna have different opinions on it, and it's just.
What I think about is, can Conor, like, do I think Conor can beat like Poirier again? I'm not sure, but I always think like I think he might be able to fight like Gaethje or so. But
how many more years would you give if Conor came back this year? How many more years would you give him fighting?
1 or 2 at the max.
Is it worth it?
At the max.
That's what I'm saying. Is it worth it?
Not,
if he's gonna have a fight a year,
not for someone who's already accomplished what he did.
No, but I'm saying if he's gonna have a fight a year, is it worth coming back and tarnishing your credibility again one more time for only like it's different if Izzy I think's got another 5-6 years.
Absolutely.
7 even. So it's worth for him to lose, come back, do this, do that, and he's staying very relevant. Is it worth it for Conor to come back after all this time? If he loses to Chandler, is that doing him any favors? And then don't forget on the other side, Conor is a sore loser, bro, and he has no respect for anyone. So we're forgetting that side of him, the Twitter side of him, which isn't helping his case either, because people are starting to look at him as a bit of a clown when it comes to like him saying all this shit and never doing anything. And it's like you got to be fighting, bro, to be having these statements and these conversations and stuff. So I want Conor to stay here.
Me too.
And by staying here, I think he needs to just stop.
But the thing is that
he needs to stop or fight for another 5 years and win for 5 years, bro.
Facts.
That's it.
Facts. But I don't think option 1 is even in Conor's fucking like
but
realm.
It's not the same. Like people, a lot of people have spoken about this too. The Shadi that's coming and doing this podcast and working, making his money off freelancing and stuff, is not going to be the same Shadi that's coming selling his podcast for 5 million, 100 million. It's not the same. Once you have that kind of money, automatically things change, bro. Your priorities change, bro. You have kids, you have to start spending time with them. You have to. There's different stuff. Life changes, bro. It's not the same. This guy is probably almost a billionaire now, bro.
Yeah, facts.
He's kind of slapping around and playing touch butt with people and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not the same fire. It's not the same thing. And good on him. Like he earned the right to be the way he is now. But you can never compare the two people. They're different people. They're different. Like even as human beings, you know, every 7 years we change, right? Every single cell in your body has died and a new set has come in 7 years. Like he's a different person. He's not the same person. And we will have to accept it, bro. I know we want to stick to it, but there's and the beautiful thing is there's a lot more to come from different fighters.
No,
like we don't need this anymore. I'd understand if he was the one and then I mean look at GSP, bro. GSP came back, fought against Bisping. Yeah, great. Where's GSP?
That was a tough performance.
It was beautiful. But what I'm saying is
But I felt like
do you think it did what he thought it was going to do or whatever? It was more of a kind of like
it's just a moment
send off. Like do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
what I'm saying. Like did GSP come and continue fighting and continue and getting involved and cussing this person and doing all this stuff?
But do you think if like the way Conor is talking, bro, honestly the welterweight belt, I don't think it's realistic for Conor. You know what I'm saying? But the way he's talking, he wants to come back and fight. He wants to come back and do boxing as well. You know what I mean? He's even talked about bare knuckle boxing.
That's what I'm saying. It's a lot going on, bro. And don't get me wrong. I think what he's doing now with the contender and all that stuff, I think that suits Conor. Just being the coach and just pissing off other coaches and having fun and more of a reality kind of thing, and then fighting for that, not for any other reason, but just for the between the two camps. Like that interests me because it's fun. But I just don't think he's in the same place anymore to be with these guys.
Yeah, and I don't think those guys that you talk. I don't think he can compete with those guys.
Yeah.
That group.
Right there, for whatever reason,
it's very tough.
Fine.
It's very tough to compete with that group. You know, but yeah, let's see. Connor. Very interesting. Looking forward to it. Okay. We have UFC 294 coming up in Abu Dhabi. Your predictions? Do you have any predictions for... so, main event, Islam Makhachev versus Charles.
I think Islam's got it again.
I think so too.
Yeah. I think he's got it. I think it'll be a very similar fight.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, Charles is going to try and change everything, I think, personally. But I just think he's going to adapt.
I think last time around, I don't know if Charles fought. Last time around.
Everybody fights, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody goes in there to win, man. I just feel like a lot of people underestimate the Dagestani grip and the culture difference of these people. I think that their wrestling is just different, bro. Their pressure is different to jiu-jitsu. I just think it's different.
I agree with you, and I also think it's the presence. I think a lot of people, when they face off with Islam or they face off with Habib, and Islam has a cockiness. You can see it in his eyes.
Man, Coach Javier on my show said he's the most complete fighter over Habib.
Yeah, but Habib never had that cocky look. If you saw Habib was always like, I'm going to whip your ass. You know what I'm saying? But it was
he's
never...
the Dagestani Conor, mate.
but it was... He never had the... Like, Islam has a almost... I'm going to play with you kind of look.
Yeah.
Habib is just like, you're not going to beat me, I'm going to beat you. You know?
Yeah, but is that because he has more in terms of striking? And he has more weapons?
I don't think it's either. I don't think it's a skill set.
You just think it's his character?
I think it's character. I think even...
It's true. Even in interviews and stuff, when he's talking to DC, and he's a lot more bubbly, he's a lot more funny, he makes a lot of jokes and stuff.
And even if you look at the documentaries, Habib is never pranking people.
Yeah.
He's never, bullying people. Islam, oh my goodness, like,
Can't compare them though. They're different people, bro.
But I think that makes a difference in the styles of fight. In the way you fight, it makes a huge difference. And I think when people like ran into Habib, it was just like he never gave them that energy fully. You know what I'm saying? But once they were in the cage,
because he wasn't flexible,
and he wasn't also flexing.
Yeah. No, but I mean, he wasn't flexible in character, and he wasn't flexible in fighting.
Yeah.
Where most people,
he was just him.
Yeah, he was just like, listen, like, I'm old school, nuts and bolts, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm fixed like this. I'm not this new technology that bends, and I'm just old school straight.
Exactly.
Islam is younger, and he's been in the West a bit more. He's got a different character. You can't compare the two. I just think, again, I really like Oliveira. I like Charles. So
I love Charles. Wallah, he's one of the most exciting fighters. And
like, imagine, I'm going to interrupt you a minute. How many fighters have we said, man, I love this guy? Man, look at what other sport gives you that, bro?
Yeah, no way.
What other sport gives you so many people
there's no way
to like?
It's also like, I think like MMA, the weight classes.
It's different, bro.
Yeah, it's so much flavor.
If I had a gun to your head, and there's 4 other people in the room, and I said, here's a piece of paper, list the top 5 fighters in the world ever. And if your answers aren't exactly the same if everyone doesn't give me the same answer, I'm killing you all. Would you feel confident that you're going to get the same answers as everyone else? If
he told all of us all together.
Yeah.
If he told all of us all together, guys, this is the case, yes. Or we would be close. But it won't be. It had to be identical.
Identical.
No, we're all lying.
See what I mean? And that's the beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Everyone sees different stuff, and it's like... Yeah.
But I think we can have a Mount Rushmore, like a top 4.
Even that's still difficult, bro. It's still difficult because it depends of when you started watching. Because there's people that would say, put GSP up there, 100%. And there's other people that would be like, who started watching from after GSP would be like, what do you mean GSP? He's not even up there.
There's some people like me who watch GSP and just say he never finished anybody.
See? That's what I'm saying. So
tough.
Everyone, that's the beautiful thing about the sport, and it's unpredictable as hell, bro.
Yeah. It is.
Unpredictable as hell.
It is. It's absolutely my favorite sport to watch. And even as like I'm a fight aficionado, I don't even know how you pronounce that word, but I love fighting so much. Like, it still gets me because I would go and I'd be like, I'd finish work or whatever or training, and then the fight started at 4 a.m.
Yeah, bro, I'm the same. You have to watch it on Fight Pass and all that stuff.
Exactly. I have to watch it at 4 a.m. and then I'm like literally groggy. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a decision anyway. No, I'm gonna sleep for a couple hours
Then
and
you
I
miss,
wake up and it's a bunch of KOs.
Bro,
and
I don't look at anything, bro. On that night, if I don't stay up and watch it, my phone's off. Like I'm not, because I got dickhead friends, bro, that will message me in the morning. Oh, can you imagine? Oh, this happened and can't believe he knocked him out. I put my phone off, bro. I learnt my mistakes, bro. Like there's nothing worse than accidentally waking up and going on Instagram and seeing a clip of a knockout or something, and you wanted to watch like the whole thing. Nothing worse than that feeling, bro. And then you're like, oh fuck now.
But me, I don't go on Instagram. What I can't handle not to do is go on Wikipedia.
No, bro. I don't go on any of it.
So
I have the thing, the website ready. I wake up in the morning, play. No one talk to me.
What I do is, this is if I have work. You know, if I have to make a decision, like, am I watching this or not? I would go on my Wikipedia and I'll show the guys. I would cover the side of the fighters. I don't only see if there was a finish or it's a decision. If it's a finish, you know what I'm saying? I would watch it. And if it's a decision, if it's not like the main or comment, I'm just like, yeah, never mind. You know,
it's a different world. It's a different sport. And I think personally, bro, I think we're going back to caveman days, bro, to the Coliseum and stuff.
Yeah.
Like fighting's just going backwards and like you have 14-ounce gloves, then it's gone down to the UFC MMA gloves, then it's gone to bare knuckle, bro. I'm sure we'll have swords and lions in another 10 years, bro.
Yeah.
I think we'll go back, bro.
I think so too.
To the death.
I think so too. I think so because now
humans love to watch it.
Huh?
Humans will watch it.
Yeah.
If there was lions, gladiators, if we had the Coliseum now, 100% it will be fully booked.
100%.
People are dying, but it will be fully booked. We just have that innate thing in us where we want to see it.
And I think UFC, I think Zuck versus Musk.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been amazing.
And then dudes go like, oh, it's not going to be under the UFC. Then we're not interested, my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but it would be amazing. Because they were saying they were going to do it in the Coliseum in Italy and all that stuff.
All that is fine.
Yeah.
But do it under UFC rules so we know.
I wouldn't mind just watching them roll in a gym, bro. Like, worst case, 3 rounds of rolling or MMA. It doesn't have to be.
But, bro, if you know it's a UFC fight, you know
it's gonna be
someone
crazy.
is getting slept or like this shit is real. It's not. There's no faking it. You know. But once it's like, you know, if Dana's not involved, I'm not trying to watch it. Like,
that's
a little
crazy.
bit.
What do you think about slap?
I love slap.
Really?
I love slap.
See,
but
I don't like the fact that I love watching it so much.
See, I think so.
I feel shamed, bro, watching
me too.
it.
Me
Especially
too.
coming from an Arab world, bro. That slap is disrespectful as hell, bro.
Not just that. I'm like, bro, I've studied too much about concussions for me to be enjoying this.
Yeah, it's dangerous, bro.
I would never do it. I'd never do it.
No, of course I wouldn't do it. But when you see those slow motions of the whole face changing shape, it's crazy, bro.
It's madness. Paulo Costa, Hamza Chimaev at 185.
Hamza.
I think we're gonna see something spectacular.
I think it's gonna be Hamza or a second round Costa.
I think
Costa's a brick wall, you know that, right?
he is, but I think Hamzat has the aura and has the skills and will end up being an undefeated fighter. We just don't know it yet. We're just walking the steps.
No, yeah, look, he's got what it takes. It's just clear to see. But I don't think Costa's scared of him.
It's not a matter. I don't think it's a matter of being scared. Holland wasn't scared of him either. Kevin Holland.
Holland didn't have a chance to wipe his face, bro, before the fight was finished.
But that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like with Costa, with Hamza, that's the issue. You don't know what's gonna happen. Is he gonna Is he in the mood?
He's a pit bull, bro. He's just like.
Yeah, but is he in the mood to fight today? Or is he in the mood to just go home? Like he's just gonna try to take me down and take my back and finish it.
That's what Hamza reminds me of. You remember? I mean, I don't know, because we had this a lot in London and stuff. You're walking in the street and you see this gang of kids, and they got this pit bull on a leash, and you can tell that dog is not fucking around, bro. Like you can just tell. And if they let that dog off the leash and shout, you don't have time to think. Get away, or it's over. That's what I feel like Hamza. He's been lit off the leash, and that's it. He doesn't. He sees red, bro, and there's nothing else.
Have you
but
ever met
red.
him in real life?
No.
I met him. I met him when I was walking into Etihad Arena. His energy is very interesting because he's very mellow.
He seems like a fun guy, dude.
Yeah,
and he's always joking around and stuff.
Yeah, he's very. I mean, he was getting mobbed by fucking fans. You know what I'm saying? He was Tam Khan. Shout out.
Shout out
TK. You know. But yeah, I liked his energy. He gave me cool energy. You know. of course, it's somebody I'd love to have on a podcast. I think
For sure.
I'd love to.
Who don't you like as a fighter?
Don't I like?
Yeah. Who really you're just like,
It's been a minute since I disliked a fighter, because usually I just like turn him off or just like
there's no one that rubs you the wrong way?
Not really.
No?
Not of the like somebody that I get annoyed when I see.
Yeah.
Not really.
For me, it was Ferguson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Towards the end, I just felt like, I mean, I know he was going through a lot of issues and mental
Towards the
health
end,
and
yeah.
stuff. But towards the end, I just, in all the press conferences and stuff, I just felt like,
And he wasn't. His
enough of this shit.
his performances weren't keeping up with his shit talk.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I mean, yeah. From that point, yeah, of course. There's
Dude, that fight against Gaethje. That it was sad for me to watch.
you know what's the issue with that fight? He dropped him in the first round. Ferguson dropped Gaethje in the first round. When that happens, it builds something in your head. It makes you think this guy can win because he dropped the other guy in the beginning, but in the reality, he was getting whipped so bad.
Do you know what made it worse for me, which made it even sadder?
No.
And it might sound funny, but the fact that there was no crowd.
Yeah.
Every punch
Buff.
you could hear,
Yeah.
and you could hear that, and it
Shit was loud.
towards the end, that stuff didn't sound nice at all, and he was just like there, and he's one of these no quit kind of people,
Yeah.
so you kind of felt like he should quit, but he's obviously not going to, but
But it also
just
like
hurt to see, man.
Yeah, but those are I feel like those are the toughest because you're standing there.
You're giving everything, yeah.
You're getting hit,
Yeah.
but you're not getting dropped. I'm not getting dropped. What the fuck am I supposed to take? How am I supposed to take the way out if I'm not getting dropped? You know what I'm saying? Because if he punches me in the face and I look away or I look to the ref to save me, I'm gonna be a meme forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he's hitting me and I'm not falling. So what am I supposed to do? Like cover up standing, look like a bitch? So that for me itself was tough. And the Herb Dean stoppage was great. But you could see, like he hit him twice. He 1-2, and
But
Ferguson.
you could see
exactly.
the way he did that was just like,
when he did
you didn't
that.
know where he was. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was thinking about it a couple minutes earlier. I'm like, he didn't drop for there to be a chance for the finish.
It's crazy that these people that don't drop with the hits. And again, this is
Max.
the one thing that I'm talking about with people who don't fighting against people who fight. Like most people in the general population,
You're not conditioned.
one of those is that's it.
Yeah, you're not
It's
conditioned.
lights out, bro. It's lights out.
Yeah,
You know what I
absolutely.
mean? And imagine taking 30 of them in a row and still trying to find a way. It's a different spirit, bro. That
That's what
warrior
I'm
spirit
saying.
is a different spirit.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why like fighters need to be respected. You know what I'm saying? I don't like cocky fighters. Like, and this is not on TV. This is in real life. Because if you ever meet a fighter, and they're cocky in real life, bro, it's garbage energy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's somebody you can't beat up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They will talk. They will talk seriously. They will talk in a shitty way to you, and you're having fight or flight.
Yeah.
Right there, thinking, you know, if I tell this guy to fuck off, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna
Then
have
it's
that
on.
moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm probably gonna be on the losing end of it.
Because he has no respect. Yeah, he'll try and prove a point.
You know what I
Make an
mean?
example,
Yeah, those are very tough. It happened to me with Jimmy Manuwa.
Really?
Back, and this is 2010.
Okay.
So I was 20. You know what I mean? Probably approached him the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jimmy Manuwa. But I remember I went up to him in a UFC and I was asking him. I'm like, yo, Jimmy Manuwa, can we please have? Yeah, get it over with, man. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, jeez.
Yeah.
You know, I remember I just went in, took the photo and just bounced. You know, like, but one of the few where I felt that. You know, and he's a light heavyweight. Like, I wasn't gonna say anything to him.
But look, it's just people, man. It
Yeah,
takes
yeah.
nothing to. As you get older,
I think
like-
as you get older, it's different. And I also think, like, during those first trips when they were coming down to Abu Dhabi, I think there was like a memo sent out where they're like, guys, like anybody you see here, like is an actual fan. This is not the United States where they're running just
it's
because
just
you're a
someone,
celebrity.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like people actually know. So that's when I like first got connected like very hard with the UFC, because other sports you would see these players, but they were almost trying to get away from you.
Yeah.
UFC fighters. I remember I was waiting outside the club, like, and the limo pulled in, and I remember Uriah Faber walked out. there was a couple other fighters that came out the limo, and I was trying to, like, at the time, Uriah Faber was active bantamweight. He was like top 5 in the bantamweight. So I was like, yo, California kid, cover. I was trying to scream at him, and then someone from the car, another fighter, I forgot his name. His nickname is the Big Slow. He was an Ultimate Fighter. He does commentary. I'll find out now. And he actually went like out of his way to call Uriah Faber. He's like, yo,
Tell him,
that dude is trying to get a photo with you or something. And they came, we took photos, whatever. So that's when I'm like, okay, this is a very welcoming community. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same where
it's different, bro.
It's different. It's
Honestly,
very different. Yeah.
Again, it's fighter mentality. Fighter mentality and footballer mentality are different, bro, because they go through that community, right? And they go
yeah, absolutely.
They go through the steps and they go through the respect and but again, you can get the opposite. You can get douchebags. You can go to a jiu-jitsu school where you're on holiday and you turn up because you want to roll and train, and then some dickheads want to show you up in that class and they want to make an example of you to prove a point. So you do get that side of it where some people are just rotten. They're just rotten eggs,
I think Luke Barnett is the fight I was talking about. Luke Barnett. I think
you do get that. And especially when I first started doing jiu-jitsu, the first place I went to almost made me never do it again.
Yeah.
Because I went there and then the coach was, and the people there, they were roughing me up so much. And it wasn't a case of they were testing me to see if I'd come back. Because I know that. I know people, some schools, they were like, let us show them a bit. They were just not even giving me, I didn't understand what was going on. It was the first day that I was going there. I don't know jiu-jitsu. I don't know anything. And you're treating me like I'm a blue belt. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, this is not how, you should be welcoming, dude. You should explain to me, okay, put your hand here. Or if I've got you like this is an escape. Or shrimp out here. Or do you know what I mean? And there was none of that. And that almost made me think, oh, fuck this shit, bro.
But a similar situation happened to me. But it wasn't like where I'm training now. It was a different place that I went to. And I don't know what it is, but it's almost the same thing that happened to me. And
yeah, but was it done in a friendly way or was it done in an aggressive way? Because where I went, it was done in a you're not welcome here kind of way.
Yeah, but I'm trying to tell you, it's because of the energy me and you share.
Yeah.
It's this energy, like a bubbly, bright energy. And you're walking into like a den of killers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they almost kind of look at it like, this guy isn't taking this serious enough.
Serious what, bro? I literally just stepped on the mat, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Serious what? But this is the thing. I've then experienced complete opposite places where in the beginning they were like, hey, listen, I see that you're struggling with that. Let me show you 1 or 2 ways out of it. Let me show you what you should do in this situation. No, they'll fix your legs, do you know what I mean, around them. Grip like
Close
this.
the guard.
There's a difference. Like, it's very clear you can easily beat me up. You have nothing to prove here. Take me as a family member, as somebody. I mean, not everybody's stepping into jiu-jitsu schools, so obviously there's something about this that interests me that I want to be a part of. So I think that people should be more open, and you find that it's usually other white belts or other, blue belts who have that. A black belt wouldn't do that to you, bro. Very rarely, unless you got a bit cheeky and tried to show them up because you have no experience, and then you saw something and you're like, I know this move, let me try and get in there. But I think in any kind of environment, when you come in, people should be welcoming.
Definitely. And this is what made the difference for my personal experience too. Like the first place I went to and the second place I went to. And also the second place I went to, like I went with my boy Zayed, like shout out Zayed Kitheri, he's Jiu-Jitsu black belt world champion. So I went out with him to his Jiu-Jitsu school, to his coaches and stuff. So he brought me in like, this is Shadi, he's really interested. He wants to be a blue belt soon, da-da-da. So the approach is also different. Like I wasn't directly trained with everybody else. I was enlisted in a white belt class. I was only
fundamentals. That's what should be done.
I was trained by purple belts. You know what I'm saying? For a very long time before getting even classes.
Also you shouldn't roll before you've done at least 5 sessions, bro.
Yeah.
They had me rolling after 10 minutes, bro. When I say rolling, rolling pin, bro.
But bro, but what I'm trying to say is, it was done on purpose. like that not being welcome. It was done on purpose because of something somebody saw that they didn't like. You get what I mean? It's not you, and it's not something you can change. You get what I'm saying? But I've also felt it, when I've moved to other countries or whatever. First day playing football, you know what I'm saying? And I'm showing up, like, I just got here from a different country. Of course, I have new shoes, you know what I'm saying? And of course, like, whatever, it's a bit flashy. But then the person who's there, this is their place, and they don't have new shoes and they don't like the way you're carrying yourself, they will try to tackle you. They will try to show you that this is my
I don't
spot.
find it, though. I don't agree. I don't find it in any other sport. So I used to do capoeira quite a bit.
Yeah.
So we used to go to rodas, which is the circle where you fight, in different countries, in different places and all that. And they were more interested and more happy that another capoeirista came than, oh, you're trying to show me up or stuff like that. Football, bro. Football is one of the sports that you go anywhere in the world and you can just play. You don't have to communicate. You don't have to talk. You don't have to do anything. Your skills will show them whether you're not. If you go to a new school, okay, you start a new school tomorrow and you're a banging footballer, bro, and you go and play in the playground that one day, automatically you're accepted, bro.
And automatically you're a star in school too.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't agree with that whole thing with different sports. I feel like it's a lot more rife in jiu-jitsu than it is other places. Jiu-jitsu is one of the only sports that everyone's beefing each other, bro. How many coaches leave and how many people leave because they went and trained at another place and then they got banned from their own place because they shouldn't have trained there? And it's like, is it really that serious?
I mean, I think for me to answer you honestly, is it really that serious? I think we should look at it from their perspective because we're joining that sport. Like, I'm looking to be a jiu-jitsu blue belt, black belt, whatever, So if I'm gonna delve into that culture that deep, and my coach tells me, listen, this is your team commando, you can't train with this other team, I'm gonna have to respect it.
Okay, there's a difference between training with another team, as in and having your allegiances in different places or whatever, and doing it regularly, to just going, you're in Ras Al Khaimah and there is no commando school there, but you want to roll because you want to keep up.
Absolutely.
There's a difference between that. I understand what you're saying. Yeah. Like, I'm going to sit there, I've taken you through 9 belts and then you're going to go and
fuck off.
Yeah, fuck off and go to some other school. I get it, bro.
Yeah.
I get that side of it. Obviously, there's an allegiance there as well. But I feel like, it's like religion, right? All the different sects and all that stuff, they start breaking up and beefing each other and all that. But in the end of it, there's only one God, bro.
Yeah. It's very interesting that we got into this. It's an interesting subject, but it's very interesting.
I don't think it's an interesting thing. There's a lot of pride in groups, but then it's the same with CrossFitters as well. CrossFitters are the same.
But I also think, like, it's also the culture. Like, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is Brazilian, So the culture in Brazil is a bit like that. You know what I'm saying? Where it is a lot of, like, respect, and it is a lot of, like, if you train with this guy, then you can't train with this guy, and it is like that.
Shouldn't be though.
Yeah.
I get it. From your side, I do understand it, bro.
But maybe I was just thinking, maybe because now there's a jiu-jitsu community here, and it's booming.
This is the biggest jiu-jitsu schools in the world, I hear, in Abu Dhabi.
So now that it's booming here, you would have maybe in a few years we're gonna have Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but with the mentalities of Emiratis, the Arabs, where it's a bit more chilled out, a bit less competitive, because I've heard those same things you said. I've heard it through the grapevines. It's one of
bro, it happens a lot. Gyms, like coaches who are in gyms, and then two of the coaches have beef and they split up and they open 2 different places, and then it's like, where's my allegiance? Where do I go? And all that stuff. It's a lot of look, I'm not in a position to comment on any of that anyway. Until I'm a black belt with my own school, then I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say anything. I respect it, but there's a lot of beef.
It's interesting. It's very interesting. How are you on time?
So I don't even know how my watch battery ran out. Oh, quite tight. How long have we been rolling?
How long are we rolling, Ed?
1:40.
Yeah. School run.
Yeah. And how long do you?
Another 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay.
Yeah, 10.
We're here. This is the script.
Where?
We're here. Like, we're at this point where I'm asking about the predictions for the fight.
Bloody hell.
You know, we still have like.
Yeah, read them out. We won't keep them long.
We got okay. So we got to some of the questions that I had already prepared. So your MMA journey, you train. We just discussed. You do a bit of jiu-jitsu. How many times a week do you train? Like workout?
Every day.
Every day, like gym.
Yeah, every day. But
How many hours?
I don't do it in a. So I do a lot of muscle splits. So by the time I get to the end, I've rested 5 days before. Like if I've trained shoulders on a Monday, by the time I get to legs on a Wednesday or Thursday, my shoulders are fresh, ready to go again. But I just try to keep active, bro. I'm old, bro. I'm like 40 something, man.
You don't look it at all.
If I don't keep going, bro, it's like my character. I just need 1-2 weeks off, bro, and I'm just gonna leave it, bro, and that's it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you got to, man. You got to train one thing or another, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I love working out, and I love training jiu-jitsu too, but I'm trying to find a balance because I'm the type to go to the gym for 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Do 8 exercises, and you know, like.
I don't think you need to lift weights. If you do jiu-jitsu enough, I don't think you need to lift weights at all.
What do you think I need to do?
Nothing. If you do jiu-jitsu enough, you're burning enough calories to get shredded. You're
tough.
pushing, you're lifting, your explosiveness, bro. You don't need anything
But
else.
it's tough to do jiu-jitsu every day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's
Because
like,
you'll be 40 in 3 years, even though you're 30. It's now, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Do a split between. But the thing is,
That's
do
what
you
I'm
want to
trying
train
to
for jiu-jitsu though? Because there's a difference.
Not really.
Because-
I'm not trying to compete. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, there's a difference
They're
because-
telling me.
No, you got to do a lot of explosive weights for jiu-jitsu, bro. Because there's a lot of pushing, a lot of arching, a lot of explosiveness. So if you did, you'd be a lot better at jiu-jitsu if you did train those things.
Okay.
I'd throw a lot more kettlebells in there as well, because it will be working on your grip, which you need. You do gi, right?
I do gi, yes.
Yeah. So that will strengthen your grip a lot by using kettlebells. But again, like I go through phases where, I mean, I've been training for 25 years, like 30 years, being a PT and all that stuff. But I go through phases where I'm just like, I don't want to. I'm bored of the gym now, so I want to find a class of something new or do something else.
I actually joined a new gym, and they keep texting me about all these classes. Join this class, join that. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I just leave it. I'm like,
In Abu Dhabi?
In Abu Dhabi, yeah. So like blitz class, this class, that class, and I'm like, I don't know.
No. If I'm gonna do a class, it's gonna be some sort of high, like another martial art or a CrossFit or something like that. Like I'm tired.
They text me about these classes, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see who's coming out from these rooms.
Yeah.
There's all these women.
Yeah,
Coming
these
out,
women.
I'm just like,
You're like, I'm not gonna focus, but then that could be a benefit, bro. That could make you focus even more, bro.
That's
You don't want to be, you know.
I didn't mean women like that. I meant like housewives and whatnot. I'm just like, I don't think this is the training I'm supposed to be doing. But
either do another martial arts or do another sport. Like find some people playing ball or paddle or something like that.
I play ball.
Yeah.
I play basketball.
Yes.
I play basketball, but
Regularly?
I'm still pretty good, but it's hard. It's hard to find players of this age. You know, I might.
There's apps for that. You know that, right?
We have a group.
Oh, there you go.
We have a group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But every week, it's the same person texting and everybody stopping him. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's replying to the man.
Yeah.
I'm just like, never mind. I might try boxing.
Boxing's good.
I have a couple links. You know what I mean? So
Have you tried Canes? Canes is supposed to be quite good.
Canes. No, I
In
haven't.
Abu Dhabi.
Canes. I heard of it. Somebody told me about it recently.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
That's where Bivol was doing his training before he fought here. Yeah, man, you got to do something, bro.
Yeah,
but this is another thing. You're not married, right? You're not.
No, not yet.
Not in relationships. Not in.
Not yet.
It was like no, not yet, not yet. But this is another thing. Once you get married and once you start having kids and that, like you start your time and your priorities change, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, I can't be just bloody going to classes all the time and all that stuff. So the jiu-jitsu will be enough because the other time you'll be spending with you have no other choice.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be living the same life when you're married and stuff. You're just like, what do you mean you're going out every day? Like you're crazy.
Yeah. Inshallah.
Inshallah, bro.
Yeah. If you had to tell me one challenge that you had when you started podcasting, what would it be?
Oh, it's a very difficult one. I've never thought of that before. It's a good question, bro.
Should we skip it?
No, it's a very good question. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this. One thing about my character is that I tend to not care about stuff. Like I don't put priority on a lot of stuff, and I tend not to get upset or worried or any of that stuff. So I think with the podcast, it's one of the only things that I've done in life where it was just like flow. There was no, do you know what I mean? If there was any challenges, it would be technical, not
Yeah, you could
know
tell
what I
me
mean?
about technical as well.
like cameras, like we were talking about before.
Because I have a worry with the YouTube. Like the YouTube, like the algorithm, the SEO.
Let me tell you something.
Writing that.
If you get 1 view a week, you shouldn't even care. The connections and family and things that you're going to build just by meeting these people are priceless, bro. Are priceless. If you looked at my phone before and now, and you see the contacts in there, bro, you can go to E and find Musk there, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like the connections, the family, he passes you to this one and all that stuff that you're going to get out of this. Forget about the views. This is not about views. This is about building something that is insanely way more important than I don't care if I get half of you, bro. Honestly, I really don't care. I don't care if no one's listening.
I started this because, bro, I love MMA and I love having this conversation. And I'm like, I can't be having this amazing conversation every time, dropping gems, getting gems from knowledgeable people like yourself and athletes and fighters and whatever, and not have it recorded. You know what I mean? Go. So I'm like...
But again, recorded for who?
Honestly, I think, like, today, it's recorded for, like, today you gave me a new perspective on who we're recording it for. You know what I mean? But for me, I always felt like, is this something I had to do? These are opinions that are in my head that I need to get out. They can't just stay in here, you know? And if you already have the accreditations or whatever for you to be a legit source of information, you know, why not do it?
If you build it, they will come, bro.
Yeah.
Like, my only bit of advice to you would be, don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about the growth. Don't worry. Stay consistent. That's the main thing. Stay consistent because you love it. Stay consistent because of the connections and the family you're building. Stay consistent because of the footage you're getting for yourself and your kids. Stay consistent because of staying consistent, because you need something in life. We all need something that we keep doing before we just get stagnant and it's like, oh, I'm depressed. What am I doing? No other time in life would you be able to have a 2-hour conversation with someone uninterrupted and just have a laugh or talk about whatever or pick someone's brain. There is no other time in life. Even if we go out and we hang out as friends, it's not the same, bro.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
The waiter will come in, he'll ask us stuff, and they get a phone call. The phones are, we might not mean to be disrespectful, but you know, we'll look at the phone while someone texts us, and no other time will you get that. And look at the kind of people that you're going to have it with.
Inshallah.
You're going to have it with UFC coaches, UFC fighters, you know, promoters, people who own different things. When else would you be able to have that conversation?
Absolutely.
Never.
Yeah. I think, and I really appreciate the perspectives that you're giving me. Seriously, you know, because I'm someone, whenever, like at the beginning of the show, I said I look up to you. Whenever I say I look up to someone, I don't just say it. I sit there with the mentality that, okay, I'm gonna absorb some shit from this guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to gain, you know what I'm saying, as much experience, as much knowledge from this person as possible, you know. And thank you, like.
No, bro, it was an absolute pleasure. There was no way I was gonna say no.
Yeah,
like,
and
you know what I mean?
you know, you've given me a couple more perspectives, you know, new motivation. You know,
dude, I'm learning from you. Then this is the thing, bro. We all learn from each other, bro. We all learn from each other. I remember the same thing, bro. This is my eldest son. He's 22 now. But back in the day, we used to do Wing Chun. And I remember I was teaching him some sticky hands and stuff like that. And we were on a train. So I wanted to train him doing sticky hands, standing on the train while it's moving, so it works on the balance as well with our legs. It's just something we used to do. And I remember he just did something. And then I was like, and by the way, he's 7 at this time. I was like, do that again. And he did it. And I was like, wow. He just taught me something I didn't know. And this is a 7-year-old. So whenever you think that you have the info or you're the one, forget all that stuff, bro. Blank canvas all the time. We will learn from every single person that we meet, bro.
Amen.
Every single person has something to teach us.
Yeah.
For whatever reason in our life.
Amen.
100%.
Jibber with Jabber, AJ.
I'm just locking them off. They're not as important.
It was a pleasure having you on Shadi from Abu Dhabi. I appreciate all the insight, all the information.
As always.
We will most definitely do it again.
For sure, and we got to do our episode on Jibber with Jabber as well, bro.
Anytime, holla at your boy.
I'm honoured for you to take the time out and have me on, bro. Honestly, like, and again, I'm excited for you because I see the trajectory that you're going in, bro. It's one of those things where it's like, it's just a matter of time. It's not a.
Hey man, I hope so. I hope so. And you know, we had a bunch more questions. I don't do fan questions. I do notable questions from other people. So I do have a couple of them. But
go. Let's go.
So I have a question. I have one question that's gonna make you laugh. It's actually from Dr. Rio. So, how do you spot a good personal trainer in the gym? It's quick answers,
bro. Ask them for their CV, bro.
Okay.
One thing I'm gonna go on a point with that because I want something. There is nothing worse than PTs doing pad work when they're not qualified as boxing trainers, bro. It's the worst thing ever, bro. Like, I've seen some of them and I'm like, and they're doing it with these mums and people that are hitting, and I'm just like, oh wow, you're just throwing arms around the place. Like, you're really like no spinning of the hip, same thing, jab, hook, uppercut, and I'm just like, oh wow. and these people think they're really learning something. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And you'll be able to spot, bro. You'll see someone, I'll be like, you've been coming to the gym for 3 years and you look no different. Bro, when I was training people, after 3 months, they looked completely different. And on top of that, they knew how to carry on without me. Like, the idea of a trainer is someone who can teach you to carry on without them. Do you know what I mean? But no one does that. They want to keep the money, right? So they'll just like...
Maybe I'll come down and train with you and Doc.
Anytime, bro.
For a session.
Anytime. You're more than welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And final question. What are some of the red flags about personal training? Also from Dr. Ryo.
Okay, this is a big problem. Steroids. Okay? There are a lot of people on steroids who aren't trainers. They've never done their qualifications. But people assume because they look like that they're going to know how to train them. But these guys don't know how to train someone who's not on steroids because their body changed so quickly. Because you put steroid in a turtle, it's going to be a ninja turtle within like 3 months. Do you know what I mean? So they got bad habits. They're not qualified and they just mess people up, bro. Like, honestly, did you see the video of that kid that broke his neck doing the squat, the 200 or 300 pound squat, the Indian influencer?
No.
I'll send you that video after, bro.
What?
Bro, it's insane. It's insane, bro. Snapped his neck for a TikTok video, bro.
China, wow.
Dead on the spot.
He's dead?
Yeah, dead on the spot. Like this, coming down into the squat, and then you just see like that the bar. The guy couldn't support it, but he was behind him. His neck went down like that. Finished.
It was this guy training, or was he just an influencer?
He was an influencer who trains, but it's just like, why are you trying to? I don't understand it. Why are you trying to lift all this stupid weight for videos? I don't get it, bro. Like, I don't lift heavy, bro.
No, me neither. Yeah. Me neither. I got injured.
I lift sexy, bro. It's different.
I got injured once, and I'm like, nah, I'm not doing this shit.
Exactly. For who, bro?
Absolutely.
We're not competing.
AJ, I feel like me and you will have a conversation for like 3 hours.
Yeah, bro.
We're never picking anybody up.
Yeah.
So, that's pleasure having you,
bro. It's been an absolute pleasure, and love the show. As again, I don't need to tell you like how much of a great host you are. You know what you're talking about, bro. And any guests that you need from our side is just let me know and I'll shout them out and tell them to come. It's gonna be some good ones coming up soon next month, bro.
Yeah,
next month.
It's gonna be crazy this next 6 weeks or so.
Yeah.
All the best for you. All the best for us.
Bro. Let's do it.
See you soon.
Boom.
Thank you so much again. Appreciate it. See you soon, guys. I don't know what's that. I was like, yo.